Hey goddesses, Abiola here. If you don't know me and you're just meeting me for the very first time, I live in New York, so it's loud. But also, I am the founder of womanifesting.com and the goddess of Paris, the goddess of Paris, life-changing women's empowerment law of attraction retreat. If you need to change your life, come change your life with me in Paris at goddessofparis.com. All right, my loves. Whew. This video has already made me nervous. And these videos never, ever make me nervous. Let me see if I can leave a comment on Instagram video. Hold on, because I'm about to reveal my Ancestry.com results. Okay, let me just type Ancestry.com reveal. Oh my God. I don't know why this is making me so nervous. I don't know why it's gonna make me nervous. Like, it's not like I could be like, I don't know, evicted or deported from somewhere or kicked out of my family or something like that. Well, Goddess Aurora. But it is making me nervous. Like, I really have a tummy ache. Like, it's really, really weird. Anyway, it will be a 2-video day because I already had made a video for you a little while ago when I was at yoga. And then when I was on my way home, I got the notification that my Ancestry.com results are in. So for holidays this year, for Christmas, this box has all kinds of stuff on it, but it's all good. It's got makeup and fingerprints. My brother gave me an Ancestry DNA test for Christmas. And I was joking that, okay, like, is he trying to get rid of me? Like, what's he trying to really, like, what's really good? Like, what are you trying to figure out? He gave one to me and he gave one to my sister. He said he's not taking any Ancestry.com test himself because whatever we find out, he'll just apply to himself as well. He was like, it's expensive. I'll apply whatever you learn to my own DNA. Since then, I have learned in this wait that just because your parents have certain things in their bloodline doesn't mean those things are expressed through you. So full brother and sister, you know, me, my brother, and my sister, full siblings could still have different stuff going on in their bloodline. That's why siblings look different. So sorry, bro. Your DNA is not necessarily the same as mine, even though we have the same mom and dad. So here is what oh my God, I don't know why I'm nervous. Let me show y'all. Okay, so here's how this looked. I basically had to spit into this. I know, it's gross. And that came in this package. And I know my nails are a hot mess. I'm about to go get a manicure. Don't judge me. And then you send it in and they reveal. Let me know in the comments if anybody has done this before. Has anybody done this before? Have you had your ancestry read and figured out? And while all of that is going on, I'm also doing the Manifesting March challenge. So I'm adding this as a bonus day where today is about ancestral gratitude and ancestral veneration for manifesting the things that you want. You can follow up with the Law of Attraction Challenge on womanifesting.com/blog or at imanifestmagic.com in the free Facebook group. I don't want to muddy up this video too much with this. But if you want to, today is about ancestral praise, tapping into the power of your ancestors, being proud of who you are and where you've come from, even though sometimes, you know, it could have some things that you would have not desired, but being grateful for the journey your peeps have been on before you. Goddess Aurora says, my ancestry results just let out some family secrets. Girl, let me tell you, I don't know which one you did, if you did 23andMe or Ancestry.com, but Ancestry.com does ask you, do you want us to notify some other people and let other people know if you were a match? I checked no. I checked no. Please don't notify anybody of anything that I'm on here. I already, and I love them. I love you very much, my siblings. I already have had this experience before Ancestry.com of finding out about siblings and people that I never knew existed. for a while it was like on a rolling basis. Like, guess who's coming to dinner? You know, so they were like, do you want to find anybody else? No, not at this point in time. I do not. So I understand, Goddess Aurora. I understand, and I've been seeing people say that, you know, they found out that they were, you know, either a parent wasn't who they thought was their parent, or they are the product of, you know, donor eggs or donor sperm, and they didn't know that, or that their whole family believed that they were Italian and then they're actually Irish or something like that. So yeah, I think a lot of stuff is being let out of the bag. Goddess Allison says, my brother and I will be doing the African ancestry test this spring. They are expensive, but I want to know. Yes. Now tell me, what is the specific African ancestry test? Is that the same ancestry.com, or is that something really specific? Do I need to, this is not good enough. What's going on? Let me know, sis. Goddess Yolanda says, yes, she's done it, and it was quite surprising but empowering. That's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm expecting to find. All right, I see you over on Instagram, Walk in Water. I love that name. Let me know, Walk in Water, if you've ever done ancestry DNA results. I am expecting, well, my mother and my father are both from Guyana in South America, where their ancestors, my ancestors, were brought as enslaved peoples not that many generations before. On both sides of the family lore, the stories passed down are that we are of Ashanti descent. Very, very clearly on my mother's side, my mother, who knew her grandmother, who would say to her that we are Ashanti very clearly, and then speak in a language that the people around her, including my mother, didn't recognize. And unfortunately, because of ignorance, and I say ignorance lovingly, all that history is lost, because my mom said, yeah, we thought she would just speak some funny language. She would say we were Ashanti. They didn't know what that meant. Nobody asked, nobody inquired. And all of that history is unfortunately now lost. But now we get to reclaim it. My grandma on my dad's side, also, like most of the people from the African diaspora, has, you know, like I'm sure a lot of them, everybody has, you know, in Guyana, when they say white folks, they tend to mean Portuguese. So, you know, she has some of that and some native stuff going on, and a whole bunch of other things. But I really, really feel very strongly that my genes, like I said at the beginning, just because you have your family members you may have like genetic family members, but it doesn't mean that those genes are expressed through you. I really am expecting my test to say 100% Ashanti. Now, this is also important to know when you are talking about being a person of African descent who our history was lost because of slavery, who is searching for your roots. The tribes are not necessarily where they are right now. We're not necessarily there, the same place. The lines, the geographical lines were not drawn the same 100, 200, 300 years ago in West Africa, where most of our ancestors come from. So Ashanti, although now it is people from Ghana, it could also mean neighboring countries, depending on how the geographical lines were drawn. Goddess Allison says, oh, the African ancestry test is supposed to be very specific to tell you what roots you're from and what tribe. Oh, very interesting. Goddess KJ Goodson. Hello, Goddess KJ. All right, we are talking about, I'm about to reveal my ancestry.com results, and I'm nervous. Why am I nervous? What is my problem? Like, why is this making me nervous? Last week, speaking in front of, like, you know, tons of people, like, that doesn't make me nervous. This is making me really, really nervous right now. All right, so let me just open the email, click on the link, and see what it tells me. What do y'all think? Am I going to be 100% Ashanti? Am I going to be an Ashanti princess and get to give the rest of my family the crooked eye? Because now I'm royalty. Okay, let me see. All right, here it is. What am I? And I happen to live in New York City, where almost on a daily basis, people will ask you, what are you, because there's so many different cultures here. And where I live is very close to a Senegalese neighborhood. So a lot of Senegalese people assume I'm Senegalese. They think I'm Senegalese and shady, y'all, because they'll say, "Ça va?" and start to speak to me. In French, I believe, maybe, or a specific, maybe they're speaking Wolof, and I don't have the words to speak it back, and I can tell they're like, she's getting here acting brand new, but we know where you from. We know where you from, but I really don't know, y'all. All right, here it is. Oh my God. Okay, so here is the overview. I should have done this on the tablet so I could show y'all. All right, let me see if I can get it on the tablet. But let me just tell y'all what it says in the meanwhile. It says 38% from Benin and Togo. Okay, I don't know where that is. Someone look that up. I know that it's West Africa. And it's very interesting because I had an Uber driver a few days ago who was from Benin. But I don't know how close that is to the Ashanti peoples. Maybe I need the test that Goddess Allison was saying. 38% Benin and Togo. 31% Ivory Coast and Ghana. My Ashanti people, 31%. It's all African regions except all African stuff. 18% Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantu peoples. Very interesting. 9% Mali and 4% other regions. Let me see. Okay, ethnicity and origins. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. All right, ethnicity breakdown, DNA story. All right. Oh, East African, 1%. English, Wales, and Northern Europe. Okay, so that's the part, my grandmother, who I thought it would be that her, I don't know how to say it, but her white folks, her white blood, I thought would be Portuguese, but I guess it's not. It's more, it says English, England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe, which makes sense because Guyana is a former British colony. Mali, 9%. Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantu peoples. Yes, 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 yes. And then 31% for my Ivory Coast and Ghanaian people, and 38% for my Benin and Togo people. Then it says lesser additional communities. Oh, this makes sense. Lesser Antilles, African Caribbeans in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago. Excuse me, y'all need to update that. Guyana as well. Hello. Okay, and then this part makes sense. Afro-Bahamian and Afro-Bermudian. I forgot, I left that part out. One of my maternal grandfathers was from Barbados. He came from Barbados to come and work in Guyana, and unfortunately died when my grandmother was a child. And side story, my grandmother dreamt it, saw the whole thing, knew unfortunately that her father had died, and went and told her mother, and was like, not my grandmother, my aunt, and was like, you know, daddy basically is not coming home. And yeah, because his spirit came and visited her. Different video, different story. But that's the Bajan. Wait, no, it doesn't say Bajan. It says Afro-Bahamian and Afro-Bermudian. Okay. All right, well, it's all in the sauce. Okay, so moving along, let's see, what else? Okay, then it is breaking down the people in Trinidad. Oh, Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, and Barbados. Okay, there it is. And some of them moved to Guyana to work as rubber harvesters during the first Amazonian rubber boom. So maybe that is why my great-grandfather came from Barbados to Guyana. I don't know. And then it's talking about a whole detailed thing about after slavery was abolished. This is really interesting. You know what else I learned this week about Guyana and slavery being abolished? That when slavery was abolished, they didn't pay reparations like they didn't here and still owe people here. They didn't pay reparations to the people, the formerly enslaved people. They paid reparations to the slave owners for losing slaves. Like, how crazy is that? All right, so it's got like a whole thing. It's breaking it down. Okay, so I am mostly Ghanaian. That's the Ashanti part, and Beninian. I don't know how to say it, but Benin and Togo, which also forgive my geography ignorance, could also be Ashanti peoples. I don't know. I need to go and look and see. But yeah, that's exciting. Oh my goodness. Oh, and it's showing, and then it shows a map. It shows a heat map with different places where your ancestors come from. Let me just take a picture and just show y'all, because it shows a heat map of like where your ancestors come from. So it's got different things all over Africa. It's got a thing in South America. It's got a thing over like in the islands, like where Barbados is, and then it has something over Europe. Maybe I'll just see if I can post a link to this. Yay! This is so exciting. All right, let me take a picture and then show y'all. I know this is the ghetto way of doing it, but there you go. Okay, so here. Okay, so here is what they are showing. It's a map, and like I said, it shows right over Guyana, which is funny because when you send in your ancestry results, you don't tell them where you're from. You don't tell them anything. You don't send anything. And they've got they've got Guyana heated up over there. Then they've got a lot of parts of Africa, Southern Africa and Western Africa and some East Africa. And then they've got Europe right there. And then that is the islands where I assume Barbados is from. So they called me out on my Guyanese, my Bajan, lot more African mix than I thought. Like I wasn't expecting the Southern African, etc. But there we go. Like how exciting. Goddess Aurora says, oh Lord, I get the what are you question all the time. So rude and so annoying. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's very interesting. If you come to New York, you will hear it even more often on a daily basis. Goddess KJ says, love the hair look. Thank you, Goddess. Yay. Goddess Allison had a drum roll going. Okay, so Goddess Yolanda saying, I'll tell you the country, not the tribe. Okay, I see. She says, yes, we all get the Ivory Coast, Ghana, Cameroon result. Yep. Yeah, Goddess Aurora says she doesn't believe it but that's funny because that's what my sister Damali says all the time. She's like, how do they know? I don't know. I think it's a farce. But how can we believe that? Like, okay, like even if, because again, they didn't see my picture. They don't know anything about me. So even if somehow I had sent in that, okay, I am of African descent, born of people who were slaves, and then they could guess West African, there's no way that they would be able to know South America, Guyana. Like, look at that. Like, Guyana is lit up. That makes me a believer. Like, there's no way possible that they would ever get that from me if it wasn't so. Right? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like they got the little Guyanese part there on and popping. So I feel you, Goddess Aurora, but yeah, that part validates it for me. Like if it was just the African part, then I could more give the crooked eye with my messed up nails right this minute. But the fact that they got the Guyanese part, like hello. And yes, Coach Raj, she says, yes, everyone got reparations, but the people it was promised still want my 40 acres and a mule, and you still deserve your 40 acres and a mule. Here's the thing. This is a side note, something that I saw yesterday that disgusted me on Twitter and hurt my heart. It was a Black woman from another place calling another Black woman, she referred to her as slave in some kind of Twitter fight. Like that hurt my heart. Like, how dare you? And said something, again, I was coming into the conversation, don't know who either of these women are, but she said something like, oh, well, people who want reparations are trying to win the oppression Olympics. People who are wanting reparations didn't make it up out of the top of their head. It was what was promised to them. It was what was promised and what was designated that didn't happen. And if you look at different points in American history, not only have people been given reparations, but there are times where the government has given people whole parcels of land, and the people who were here, who were, you know, the African enslaved peoples, were not able to participate in that because they were regarded as 3/5 of a person. So, like, how could you fix your mouth to say anything like that to me? Like, if you, which fits in with our ancestral veneration movement and focus of the day. But I feel like when you insult your sister, you insult yourself. Like, how dare you? Like, that hurt my heart. And then I had to remind myself that they're on Twitter. There are trolls and bots, and who knows if that's even a real person and all of that stuff. Coach Roz says she is very happy for me. Yay. Thank you, Goddess Allison. All right. So now that I know that I am an Ashanti princess, I need to carry myself differently. Goddess Aurora says we will talk about it during the retreat because I won't burst your bubble today. Okay, my love. We will definitely talk about it during the retreat. And everybody else who is here, who is watching, come to Paris with me, goddessofparis.com. Let's all talk about it in France. That's where we need to talk about it, in the home of great ancestress Josephine Baker. Yes? Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Goddess Modern Day Emmy. She says you are speaking facts. Absolutely. Absolutely. And as we saw with this college scandal, now let me not go off on a whole other tangent. I got to go get my Ashanti princess on with the rest of my Saturday. But let me just leave with this. Let me just leave with this. No person, you are not better than someone else because, you know, you feel like, okay, well, my ancestors did this or my ancestors did that or whatever it is. My ancestors, and I wouldn't even say like enslaved or not, or in spite of being enslaved or anything like that, my ancestors are freaking amazing. They are incredible. They are amazing because they begat me. And all of us who are walking around today, who are the descendants of people who came through struggle, need to realize and know that at this very moment, you know, if we believe what the quantum physicists say, that, you know, time is not linear, you know, that it is happening, you know, somehow all at once. There are ancestors who are praying for you, who pray for you, who you are the hope and the dream of. And that is absolutely magnificent. That is absolutely incredible. And anyone who tells you otherwise or tells you that you should be ashamed of any part of who you are or your bloodline, no matter how you came to be, is a liar. Like they say, the devil is a liar, the devil is a liar. You are miraculous. You are incredible. And how amazing that your ancestors were able to survive whatever they survived for long enough to create those who were able to create those who were able to create those who were able to create you. Yes? Yes. And that is my Ashanti wisdom, y'all. All right, so I'm very excited, like I said. And like I said, it validates it for me that like they got the little Guyana going on right there. That's very exciting for me. And yeah. All right, my loves. So again, today is about ancestral praise when it comes to your manifesting and calling in the things that you're wanting to create in your life. Be seen, be heard, be an amazing movement. Namaste. Thank you for the hearts, goddesses. Goddess Allison says, yes, my ancestors were everything and I carry their power and strength everywhere I go. Absolutely. And that's why we know that all things are possible. That is why we know, our ancestors know. As Dr. Maya Angelou said, I am the hope and the dream of the slave. We know that all things are possible. Bye, lovelies. Have a great Saturday.